Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I will be teaching you guys how to make your own YouTube thumbnails. I am doing this specifically for Fortnite, but the skills you will learn in this tutorial can literally be applied to any game you're playing or any thumbnail you want to make. So keep that in mind, it doesn't specifically have to be Fortnite, but I know most of you guys are making Fortnite montages, so you'll probably need a Fortnite thumbnail to go with that. Before we get into anything, obviously, hit that like button. You already know, support me as a creator, and leave a comment of what you think of this video, and if you are new, subscribe. But without further ado, let's get right into this tutorial. Okay, so first things first, open up Chrome. The website we will be using to make this thumbnail is called Photopea. So it's photopea.com, and you go there, and it is literally just a copy and pasted Photoshop, but it's free and it's online. So if you guys do want a Photoshop tutorial, I can make you guys a Photoshop tutorial. I do actually use Photoshop for all my thumbnails, but this is literally exactly the same layout as Photoshop, but as I said, it is free, so I wanted to make this as easy accessible for everybody in this video as possible. Okay, so when you go onto this site, the first thing you'll need to do is go up to File and then New. Now, because we're making a thumbnail, the width and height is 1280 by 720. Make sure right next to width it is selected on pixels, PX for short, and then go ahead and name your project. I'm just going to name it thumbnail. Make sure the background is white and your DPI is 72. Now go ahead and just click create, and you should get this blank white slate. Okay, now we have our project set up. The first thing you will need is a background. Now, to get a background, all you need to do is find one online. There are millions and millions of free backgrounds. Don't think too hard about this. You just want something clean and vibrant looking. So I will actually have a file download in the description with all the images I'm using in this video, along with some extra backgrounds that you guys can use. So all you need to do is go into your file, find the background that you downloaded, and drag and drop it into your project. So I'm using this one, and as you can see, it doesn't fit exactly to our page, so all I want to do is stretch out these sides. Just like so. Then press enter, and that should finalize. Now, just to make it focus on the center, so I'm going to have my character right in the middle here with some text around it, and I want to blur out the edges, which is what I see a lot of people do. It is just a good way to make the center of the image pop. All I want to do is go over to this drop looking effect, and this is the blur tool. All I want to do is click that, and as you can see, my cursor will now change to a circle. I want to make this a bit bigger, so I will right click and then bump up the size to maybe 100 something. Don't think too hard about it. And then all I want to do is just go around the edges, left click, go around the edges, and as you can see, it will start to blur it. I might go down on the corners and just blur around the edges. All I'm doing is left clicking while doing this, and then I might do a quick swab through the middle as well. But the more you go over in one area, the blurrier it will get. As you can see right here, it's getting really blurry because I'm going back and forth. I'm just going to undo that though. Now, to go back to your normal cursor, just go up to here, go back to the move tool, or you can press V like in Premiere Pro. Now, the next thing I want to add to our background is called a gradient overlay. So to do this, all I want to do is go over to my background layer, which we added before, right click, go blending options, and then go over and find gradient overlay. Then tick this box, make sure you're selected over the tab, and something like this may appear. All I want to do is go over to where it says gradient and click this little color shades panel. And then what I want to do is double click on this white box down here, and my color picker will come up. Now I want to make it a sort of pinkish purplish color, maybe a really light pink, like so. And then I'll do that with the left box as well, and I might make that a different shade of pink, maybe a lighter pink. Cool, just press OK on that. And now what I want to do is change the opacity all the way down. Now I don't like how it looks so faded, so I'm going to change the blend mode to darken. As you can see, it looks a lot more vibrant now. Now the last thing I want to do is change the style from linear to radial. Now you can play around with these settings to get it how you want to look. Go ahead and play around with the opacity. I want mine just on 54%, like so. Now the next thing I want to do is add my character in. So I have the Sparkle Specialist, I believe it is. I found her just by searching Fortnite characters PNG. It's literally that easy. The reason I chose this skin is because it's sort of bright and it pops out. So when making a thumbnail, what you really want to do is make it stand out from the rest. So hence the color gradient, it makes the background a lot more vibrant, and all these colors just stand out and look really nice together. So keep that in mind when choosing your character. Now my characters happen to be perfectly sized to the image. I'm not going to change this at all. But if at any point you do want to change the size or width, all you got to do is make sure it's selected over here in the layers section. Then go edit and then free transform. And as you can see, now you can mess around with the height, width, and the size. I'm going to leave this how it is, and I'm going to make sure it's centered. As you can see, if I drag it to the middle, the red line will indicate that it is centered. So just like that. Now to make my character stand out from the background, I'm going to right click and again go to blending options. Then I'm going to go select outer glow. Make sure you are in the outer glow section so you can edit the settings. Now all I'm going to do is change this color to, I want it to be similar color to these clouds. So I'm going to go just hover over it and select that. Then I'm going to press OK. And now I'm going to change the opacity to 90% and the size to maybe 110, 109, that's close enough. And I actually want to turn this opacity, I might actually make this 85. And as you can see, that looks really nice. Again, make sure you go ahead and mess around with these settings to customize it to how you want it. Now that's all I'm going to do for the character. I'm just going to go ahead and press OK on that. And now it is time for text. Now for text, we will be using a specific font. This font is called Burbank. It is actually the same font that Fortnite uses. As this is a Fortnite thumbnail, I thought it was appropriate to use, the same font that everybody will recognize, and I think it does stand out and people will notice it, so it is definitely a good font to use. The link to this font will be in the description, so make sure you go ahead and download that. So once you have that font downloaded, the first thing we need to do to make text is go over to the T tool. You can either press T or just select right here, and then what you're going to have to do is just drag, make a big box, and then go ahead and select inside this box and type your text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the word Fortnite here and then thumbnail on the other side, Fortnite. Then what we're going to do is highlight this text, so just double click it and then go up to here right next to this T, click the drop down, and then you will have a million fonts that you can use. To load our font that we just downloaded, all you want to do is go ahead to load font. Go ahead and find it. So I'm going to search Burbank right here and then click open. So it will tell you that it's loaded, and then all you got to do is go back up to here and then search for the font you just installed. So Burbank Big Condensed, and as you see, it has changed. Now what we want to do is edit the size, so just select this, go to the drop down next to size and use this little slider to make it how big you want. Then I'm going to center that so it is horizontally centered. And before creating the second part of text, I'm going to go ahead and add all the effects we're going to add to this, so then I can just duplicate it and it saves us doing the whole process again. Firstly, I want to change this to white, so go ahead and go back to your text tool and then double click this so it highlights. And now all you want to do to change the color is go up to next to size. As you can see, this black box, click that and you can change it to whatever color you want. So I'm going to change it just to white. I'm going to change that to white, press OK. Now what I want to do is add a drop shadow. You could either add a drop shadow or a stroke. Both of them make the text really pop. I'll show you how to do both of those right now. So to add the drop shadow, go ahead and right click over your text layer. So right here in this layers panel, I'm just going to right click that and then go blending options once again. And now what I'm going to go ahead and find is a drop shadow. So I'm just going to go ahead and select that. And as you can see, our text right here will have a little shadow. Now, as you can see, it's really faint. So to fix that, I'm going to go ahead and change the opacity to maybe 86. And then I'm going to go ahead and edit the spread to make it a little more vibrant. So I'm going to make that 23. I think that's good. And then I'm going to go ahead and press OK. So that is how you create a drop shadow. Now, a stroke is a bit different. I'm going to go back to blending options for a stroke. For the purpose of showing you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and untick drop shadow, so it's back to our regular white text. Then I'm going to go ahead and select stroke this time. And as you can see, it outlines the text with the color that you want. So normally people will have a black stroke and then bump the size up. And as you can see, that's what it looks like. But for this one, I'm going to go with drop shadow. So I'm just going to untick that and go back to drop shadow, and it still has our settings saved from before. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK on that. And then what I'm going to do is right click over the Fortnite text and then just go ahead and click duplicate layer. Now I'm just going to drag that over to where I want this, and I'm just going to edit the text to thumbnail. Now for this next part of text that I'm going to add, I'm just going to go back to my file and drag and drop this little tag item that I found on the internet. So I thought it would look really cool if I put the word free in, just to draw attention to my thumbnail. Now this will be included in the pack of images that I will link in the description, so you guys can go ahead and drag and drop that into your thumbnail if you want to use it. Now I'm just going to leave this in the middle for now. What I'm going to do is go back to our text tool, click text, and I'm just going to drag a little text box inside this, and then I'm going to change the size back down just to 20, and then I'm going to type free. I'm going to put my text in. As you can see, it's a bit small, so what I want to do is highlight that and just make it a bit bigger. Now that is as big as I want it to get. And now I'm going to resize this little tag to fit the text. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure this is selected. Then I'm going to go edit and free transform. And then I'm just going to shorten the width. Like so. Alright, and that looks really good. So I think I'm going to rotate this a little bit. So again, just free transform, and I'm just going to rotate it slightly. And I think that looks really good. So I'm actually going to merge these two layers, the text and the tag. I'm going to merge it so I can move it around and it's just one layer. What I'm going to do is hold shift and select the layers I want to merge. As you can see, these both are selected. And then I'm going to right click and click merge layers. And as you can see, this becomes one layer and I can just move it around freely. Now I just want to put this at the top left of my image, so I'm going to go ahead and again go free transform. I'm just going to rotate it a little bit, and then I will make this a little smaller. And I think I might actually add a outer glow to this as well, but this time I will make it white, just a white glow, regular white glow. And then I'm just going to make the spread 13. And that looks good. I've gone ahead and edited all my settings to tone it up to how I want it. Now the last thing that I'm going to do is add something that will draw attention to your whole thumbnail. So to do that, go ahead to the downloads and import this one right. Now once you have this imported, go ahead and drag it to the size of your thumbnail so it fits over everything. And then make sure over here in the layers panel, it is under everything except for your background. So you want it in front of your background, but behind everything else. Now make sure this is selected, go ahead and hover over where it says normal, select that and change it to lighten. Now this already looks really good, but I just want to change the opacity just a little bit. So I'm just gonna bring that down. So it's still there, but it's not just overpowering everything. So I think 45% is good. So I'm just gonna leave it at that, and there we go. There is our thumbnail. So if you guys did enjoy this tutorial, make sure you leave a like. If I didn't cover anything or missed something, or you're just overall need help with anything, please leave a comment and I will try to get back to you. Now, I did include the Psd file, which is essentially the file to my project, so you'll be able to open my project and go ahead and look at what I've done, just in case you missed anything or want to further understand what I've done. Again, the link to all the resources I've used in this video will be in the description for you to download and use, as well as some extra backgrounds and then also the font. Now, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new, please subscribe. Again, leave a like, and I will see you in the next video. Later.